guys, I'm Leanne and this is Farm and Charm, and today I'm going to share with you guys about a product that I have mentioned and kind of talked about a little bit, but I've never really gone into depth and told you guys about and how I use it, and I wanted to go on and do a full review for this. It's something that I have used almost daily for probably a year and a half to 2 years, and my mom uses this also. I'll go on and tell you what it is. Not that y'all don't know because it's in the title, right? But anyway, it's It Cosmetics by Redness Neutralizing Correcting Cream. And what it does is any redness in your skin or complexion, it is a corrector for it. It's not a concealer. So the problem, I don't have any makeup here on my cheeks, and the problem is I'm pretty fair skinned, and so in the springtime towards the summer and into the fall I get redness on my cheeks, and it's if I tan, if I don't tan, it's more of an allergy, like rosacea, and it'll have little bumps that come up like this, and there's a couple over here you can kind of see, and it's rosacea. My mom has it and she's dealt with it for a long time. It doesn't show as much on her because she's a little darker skinned than I am, but especially like if I am working out really hard, like I'm like bright red, like it really shows through. And the problem is I love my concealers that I use, but they're not correcting, they are just concealing. And so the concealers, the redness tends to shine through concealers. If you ever had like a really bright pimple and you put concealer over it, but it's covering it and making it less noticeable, but it's not gone, like you can still see the redness. So this is what this is supposed to cover. It's going to correct, like over time it's supposed to make you less red, and it covers it completely where you can't even tell that redness was there. And pretty much this is like a miracle product for me. I don't want to be like overly dramatic, but I so dislike the redness on my cheeks. I love blush, but I don't like the actual redness. It goes like all the way into my nose, like you can see it goes like in around my nose, and it's not attractive. And so this is one of those products, like if you lost all of your makeup and you could only buy 10 things to replace. For both me and my mom, this is one of the 10 products, and I'm going to apply it and show you guys kind of how it works and why I like it so much. But I'll go ahead and tell you about the size and the price of it. Just the product itself is $32, and you get 0.37 fluid ounces, which is 11 mils. And I bought the little stand. When it first came out, it only came with a little stand and a little brush, and it was $39.50 with the little stand and a little brush. But now you can buy just the jar, which is nice because, I mean, how many little stands and little brushes do you need, even though they're really adorable. So the little brush, it's just a tiny little thing, and it says on the side It Cosmetics, and all It Cosmetics brushes are great, but this is a little flat top brush. It's pretty densely packed, and it's got good stiff bristles, and it's good to kind of work and buff the product in. So, and the product itself, when you get the little jar, it's just a tiny jar. Like, let me show you compared to like Boing Concealer. Like, it's not that much bigger than Boing Concealer. So it is kind of a hefty price tag. But, and then on the inside, like I've seen reviews where people are like, it's a tiny thing, and then on the inside there's really not even that much in there. But a little bit, let me tell you, I've had this jar for probably over a year, and it just doesn't seem to go anywhere. It will last and last. So what I do is I get the lid, has some of the product on it, and I get my little brush, and I'll put just a tiny bit on the brush. It takes just the smallest little touch of makeup, and then when you dab it on, when you tab it on, it spreads really well. And it just goes on and covers and does really well. So let me go on and demonstrate that for you guys. So I'm just dipping like the corner of the brush. It's just like a tiny little bit in there. And then I put it on the areas. I just put it where I have redness. I don't do this all over or anything. So you can see just that tiny bit covered like this entire area. And you can apply this with your fingers also, but I have found that the brush does apply it a little better. And I just kind of press it into the skin. I don't like buff it or anything like that. Just kind of press it and move it a little bit. I can still see a tiny bit of red peeking out here, which is not terrible. I mean, I do like some red on my cheeks, and I'm going to apply blush anyway, so I'm not going to go over it and over it. Although my mom really dislikes rosacea, and so she wants like flat, no red cheeks, which to me I don't really love. I like placing it where I want it. But when, you know, it's kind of like what you don't have, you want the opposite. That's kind of how she feels about it. But I do like a little bit of color in my cheeks. But I'll go ahead and apply it on this side so you can kind of see. But it's just the smallest bit, like that. It's just a tiny little bit of makeup on there. And then I just dab it on, and then the brush will move it around for you. So you can tell it covers all of the redness, but also it's really thin. Like, it's not, I hate thick makeup. I just do. I do not want my to look overly made up, like I have a ton of makeup on me. And this does appear pretty natural. Like, it's not like an over the top, it's not a concealer. It's not really thick, and that's one of the things I really like about it. But it does completely block out the redness. And if you have pimples and it's the redness of the pimple, like a lot of times I get pimples and it's not a bad pimple, but they get so red and it aggravates the crud out of me. So if you get that, because my skin is so fair, the red just shows through so well. So if you get pimples and you just want to cover red, this is like the ideal product. A lot of times I pull this out in the winter time when I'm not having redness on my cheeks, when I have a pimple and I'm just wanting to cover that redness, and this is exactly what I need for that. I so wish when I was a teenager and you had that acne that aggravated you so much that I had known about this to be able to cover the redness of the pimples. So anyway, that's my whole review of this. After this, I'll put like some powder foundation on. And if I had anything else I wanted to cover, I use the Boy Concealer. But for the price, this really goes like a crazy long way. You saw like the tiny amount I put on the brush, and it covered like both of my cheeks. I mean, it was just like a dot. It was just a tiny bit of product, and it covers the redness in my cheeks. So if you also have trouble with redness in your cheeks or anywhere that you want to cover, I definitely suggest checking this out. $32 is a touch high, but now thankfully they're covering it at Ulta, so maybe now in the future I can get my 20% discount at times of the years, and I won't have to pay that shipping and handling and everything, so I'm super excited about that. So that's my full review of the IT Cosmetics Bye Bye Redness Neutralizing Correcting Cream. Definitely worth the money. Give it a try if you're interested. If you have any questions about it, please inbox me and let me know. This is one of those products that you use so much you kind of forget to review it, like a toothbrush or something. You use it every single day. You kind of forget that it's something special, but this really is something special. And I always realize that when I'm traveling, for some reason I forget to throw it in the bag, and then later that day I'm like, frustration, like all of this redness showing through. So anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. If you are not subscribed, please take a second and subscribe for me. It really does help us out, any YouTubers out, when you subscribe. It helps our numbers, and it helps our self-esteem. Anyway, I know, so sad. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I love you guys, and I'll see you guys very, very soon in my next video. Bye.